Heroes, welcome to Marvel United. In this game, you're playing from a roster of Marvel heroes working together to defeat a slew of villains. But just like us, those villains are not working alone, and you'll have to get through their thugs and henchmen and rescue civilians before even getting a chance to fight the villain themselves. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to teach you how to play Marvel United. So for everyone joining in, if you are enjoying the content, you want to help me out here, click on subscribe and like and do all those things. I will be doing some cinematic gameplays of this and a full review on the game, so stick around. It's gonna be a ton of fun, I'm telling you right now. And right before we start, tell me in the comments below who your favorite Marvel hero is and who are you excited to play with in this game. Okay, so first you want to go ahead and put the mission report, December 16th, 1991. Okay, sorry, I couldn't help me. Okay. Sorry. You want to go ahead and put the mission guide at the center of the table and then put the 3 mission cards in the slots at the bottom. It doesn't matter what order they're in. Now from there, you want to pick which villain you want to play with. So we'll go ahead and play with Red Skull since that's what the game recommends for your very first run through. Put the villain dashboard at the top of the mission guide, and then based on however many players you're playing with, you want to fill that number with the number of health tokens on the dashboard. We'll be setting up today for a 2-player game, so Red Skull has 4 health. Now if the villain has a tracker on the bottom, put the villain tracker cube in the 0 space. And then randomly pick 6 locations and make a circle around the mission guide. You can put blue civilian tokens in their marked slots and red thug tokens in their slots as well. Next up, we have the villain threat cards. Shuffle these and put one face up on the slots at the bottom of each location, so they should cover up the end of turn effects. You can also add the threat tokens to the slots right next to them on the left corner, and then put the health tokens according to the number shown on that card. Next, shuffle the villain's master plan deck and put it face down next to a random location, and finally, put the villain's miniature in that location as well. Now, it is time to choose your hero. Today, we're gonna play as Iron Man, as well as with Captain America. You can place your mini on the location opposite of the villain, shuffle your matching hero's deck, and then put it face down right next to you. From there, draw 3 cards from the top of the deck, and it is time to face off against Captain America's ultimate arch nemesis, Red Skull. Or whoever you're facing off against. Ultimate question of the day, what is the point of Marvel United? Well, of course, it is to defeat the villain, and you're gonna do so by dealing damage to them until their HP runs down to 0. However, you can damage them until you complete 2 out of the 3 available missions. Now here is how you play the game. And I'm gonna just say Red Skull from here on out to make it more personable, but of course, just, substitute with whichever villain you're playing with. Red Skull will always start the game by drawing the top card from the master plan deck. And you're gonna place it face up on the table. Thematically, you're actually going to form an arc around the location cards, and this is going to be your storyline. Each master plan card is going to tell you different parts that you have to do in order from top to bottom. There are 4 kinds of effects. First is the movement icon. This symbol means Red Skull is going to move clockwise depending on the number shown. In this case, he's going to move 3 spaces in this direction. If the threat card has this target arrow symbol in the location Red Skull ends his movement in, even if the movement is 0, then make sure you resolve that effect right away. In this case, it is brainwashing. So that effect activates, and now heroes in this location and in adjacent locations all take 1 crisis token. If you draw a BAM effect, you're gonna be in some deep shimmering trouble. A BAM effect is pretty much like their special ability, so you're gonna follow whatever's listed on their villain dashboard. Red Skull in this case is going to deal 1 damage to each hero in his location and increase the fear track. Unfortunately, that's not all, because villains will often have henchmen, so any BAM effects shown on threat cards are activated as well. Here, Crossbones is going to deal damage to your heroes, and so will Madame Hydra if you're in their location. Okay, so we talked about how villains are moving across the board, talked about their BAM effect. Next up is adding thugs and civilians. For this, you just match whatever's listed on the tiles starting in clockwise order. So for this card, I would add 1 thug on the left first and 1 civilian. Going in a circle to add 1 more thug and 1 civilian on the right, and then I end at Red Skull's location in the center to add in 2 thugs and 2 civilians. And then activate the threat in this location as well. Ooh, we're actually running into a problem here because we can't add in all the thugs and civilians here because it's gonna be full. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to activate the overflow effect. So each villain is going to have an effect called an overflow on their villain dashboard. In this case for Red Skull, his fear track would go up by 1 for each thug and civilian that I can't add. So because of this overflow effect, I move up the fear track by 3 spaces. And the 4th and last effect is a special effect, and all you do is just simply follow the directions listed on the card. That is all for Red Skull's turn. And now the fun part, is time for us heroes to fight back. So on your turn, you draw the top card from the deck into your hand, There is no hand limit, and if the deck runs out, you just don't draw a card. And then you play a card onto the storyline, which is going to be, again, that circle around the playing area. The card you play will always go to the right of the last card played. Now you're going to see a couple of different types of symbols listed on the bottom of each hero card. You can perform these actions in any order you want, and you can also use the actions listed at the bottom of the previous hero card as well. But of course, if you go first, then that means that you won't have any benefits to go off of since you went first. The green symbol is movement, which means you can move in an adjacent location in any direction. This symbol is the attack symbol, where you can deal 1 damage in the location that you're currently in. Thugs will only have 1 health, so attacking them removes them from that location, and you can put them in the defeated thugs mission. Henchmen are a little bit stronger than that, maybe even a lot stronger than that. So for this one, you're going to move 1 health token for each damage that you're dealing on their space. So those were thugs and henchmen, but remember, you can't attack the villain yet until you completed at least 2 missions. Once you do and you're currently on their location, then you just remove their tokens from the dashboard. The yellow star symbol is a heroic action symbol, which lets you rescue civilians by taking their tokens from the location and moving them onto the rescue civilians mission. A heroic action can also be used on an empty slot of a threat card in your current location, so you can also clear that threat by placing a heroic action token on those slots. Quick side note, even if henchmen are threats, you do have to attack them and reduce their HP to 0 in order to clear that tile. And the last common symbol you're going to run into is the wild symbol. Being a wild, it will count for moving, attacking, or a heroic action. Every hero deck will also have special effects that you can use before or after your actions. Again, just read through these and follow its listed directions. And also during the resolve step, if your hero has one of these action tokens, now is the time that you can use those particular tokens. Just in case you're wondering where you get those tokens from, Iron Man and Captain America have abilities that give you tokens. So on your turn, you are drawing a card, playing a card, resolving effects, playing action tokens if you have them, and then lastly is using your location effect. If you cleared a threat in your location, you can choose to use the end of turn effect listed at that location. And then the next player in clockwise order goes. Every time 3 hero cards have been added to the storyline, then it's the villain's turn, and you draw a master plan card and repeat their turn. Once you finish the rescue civilians, defeat thugs, or clear threats mission, then you're putting the villain under pressure. And now they start taking turns and adding a master plan card after every 2 hero cards. So for example, I completed my first mission by filling up the rescue civilians card, and then Red Skull gets pressured and starts pumping out master plans after every 2 cards I play. I complete a second mission, and then now I can attack Red Skull directly by being in the same space as him and using the attack action. You don't have to complete a third mission if you don't want to, but if you do, then all heroes get to draw 1 card right away. And the last few things, you have to discard 1 card from your hand for each damage that you take. If you discard the last card from your hand, you are officially KO'd and have to lay down your game piece, meaning your hero gets ignored by all game effects. You then finish up the villain's turn, and at the start of your next turn, you can put your hero back upright and draw 4 more cards to start. You win, of course, if you manage to reduce the villain's health to 0, but you lose in 3 different conditions. A, if they complete their villainous plot listed on their dashboard. B, if the villain has to draw a master plan card and they have no card to draw from their deck. Or C, you run out of cards completely from your hand or from your own hero deck. And that, my friends, is how you play Marvel United. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial, and hopefully, I hope you get this game to your next gaming session faster and easier. Thank you all so much for watching and for supporting my channel. Tag me in your gameplays, I love to see them. I want to see everything related to this game, and have a wonderful day.